So the craziest thing just happened, and this goes to net information gain. The day after I posted that update video, Google released the documentation of what I was saying, the official documentation. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick recap, okay? This is actually crazy. And I kind of talked about this in my last YouTube video, the net information gain. And I got a shit ton of comments of people like, oh no, this is cap. He's literally lying. None of this is proven. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny how the world works? Very quickly, for those of you that also want to do research on your end, because I did realize what I was saying was kind of crazy, especially without it being backed up or anyone else talking about it. Net information gain. On October 18, Google filed a patent called Contextual Estimation of Link Information Gain. And the patent number is US-2020-0349181-A1. Okay, that's how far I'm willing to go. Now, this patent in specific, it was filed on 2018, but it was granted in 2022. Now, it was never used in the actual YouTube algorithm, but on December of 2025, it was presented at the Near IPS AI conference. The official Google research reports came out on Friday, January 23rd of 2026, 4 days ago from the time I recorded this, but they explain exactly how it works now. So the issue that YouTube was having was obviously AI generated content. Since ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they can all make very informative, kind of like default scripts. They created a filter called GIST, that is GIST. Okay, so information gain is the metric, and GIST is the tool in charge of giving it a score in that metric. Now, the reason they added the GIST filter is because it's expensive to give Gemini 10,000 identical videos. There's no point in that. So GIST allows the AI to pick the best version of the topic and then mathematically block anything else that is too similar to it. So for example, imagine you and I both make a video about how to bake a cake. And if our scripts are 90% similar, GIST will see us as the same data point and it will pick the one with the higher authority score. Everything else, it literally deletes from the recommendation pool. And that's to save processing power. So it creates a redundancy radius. That's what they call it. So if your video falls inside of my radius of my how to bake a cake video, you don't just rank lower, but you don't actually exist in the recommendation pool. Like your video is not going to get recommended. So yeah, again, the documentation was uploaded on January 23rd, but who knows how long this has actually been in the algorithm, which explains why all of these new brand niches have worked for me, right? Because no one else is doing it. There is no one else to compare my videos to. I had the highest authority because I was the only one doing it. You know, if you go to any of my YouTube videos, if you go to the recent course videos, I'm like, dude, you have to start brand new niches because for some reason they're just popping off. So we were right the whole time. We just didn't have words or names to give it because, you know, Google never announced it. So this all ties back to semantic IDs. GIST cannot calculate information gain of a video without semantic IDs. So here's an example of how it works, okay? When you post a video, the AI assigns semantic IDs to your video. You have to think of semantic IDs like a GPS coordinate for your video's topic. If you make a copycat video, you are standing on the same exact GPS coordinate as the viral video you're copying. The algorithm sees it and it's like, okay, there's already a building here, right? And that would be that viral video. So information gain is the measurement of how far you are from the existing content. Now, it doesn't mean you have to make something completely different or original, but you need to have a slightly different GPS address or coordinate. So you need to move your semantic IDs enough just to prove that you're adding new territory to that map. Now, according to YouTube engineering papers in 2024, 2025, it explicitly states that they replaced random ID tables with semantic IDs to better understand relationships between videos. So yeah, GIST essentially means removing irrelevant videos or copycats. That's what it is. So this means that we actually made something really, really useful. And that's with Vid Ninjas and the sauce. So I put one of my own scripts on the Romayroh channel, the one where I talk about YouTube automation. And I was curious to see how it works. So if you haven't seen this yet, it essentially tells me every semantic ID that I'm hitting within my script. And it also gives me like a full recap of what I'm saying, right? For example, minor deduction, the phrase Google developer files is vague, specific document names would strengthen semantic ID fingerprints. So in my video, when I said Google developer files, It was so vague that the algorithm did not consider it or give it a semantic ID. So in Google's eyes, it's like I never said it. But if I was to have given the specific document number in the video, when someone would Google that specific term, my video would appear on Google. And it would also appear in the recommended of other similar videos that talk about Google's algorithm. And VidNinjas also tells me which ones I'm missing. For example, deep neural networks, missing technical depth to YouTube's DNN ranking architecture, collaborative filtering, script mentions co-visitation but doesn't use the established ML term. So when I talked about co-visitation in my script, again, it didn't consider it because I didn't use the correct term. The actual technology behind semantic IDs that YouTube uses is called RQ-VAE, which is residual quantized variable autoencoder. I call them semantic IDs because it's easier, okay? And there was also a few fuck-ups. So some claims appear exaggerated or unverifiable. The January 14th, 2026 update and 31 days of users' activity are not confirmed in public documentation. Whoops, I don't remember where I got that from. It wasn't actually January 14th, it was January 23rd, but that date didn't happen yet. All right, here's a confession. I come from the future. Now, the best part about VidNinjas is that with this click of a button, it will refine the script and it will fix everything that I missed. If there was a specific word I missed in order to build a semantic ID, to give context to the algorithm, something that VidNinjas understands what you're trying to say, but in Google's eyes, it won't understand. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, with that, it fixes it. Again, guys, one of its kind. So yeah, just wanted to make that quick update for you guys. Anyways, I need to shave because I know I look homeless right now. So I'm gonna go do that.